This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the morning of Thursday, November 30th, 2023. I'm Alex Brown. Purdue Polytechnic Institute will dedicate 4 new smart manufacturing facilities on the West Lafayette campus today. The facilities are part of a broader effort to create a new degree program in smart manufacturing with the goal of preparing the next generation workforce and bridge the growing skills gap in the manufacturing industry. Professor Raghu Attinarayanan.
We can't have a program without the facilities to support it because keep in mind, this is an undergraduate program in smart manufacturing, industrial informatics. And we want students to not only master the concepts of smart manufacturing, but we also want them to build skills and competencies related to the same. So, as much time and effort that we have put into building the curriculum, we have put equal amount of time and effort, perhaps even more in building our facilities.
Purdue says the facilities create the most expansive learning ecosystem of its kind in the country. 2 Indiana-based agricultural cooperatives will soon be seeking approval from their members to pursue a merger. The boards of Indianapolis-based Co-Alliance and Ceres Solutions in Crawfordsville made the decision following a 3-month due diligence period. Members will vote to approve the merger in the coming weeks. Indiana Landmarks is looking for a new owner and steward for what it calls a unique property in the Fountain County city of Attica. The historic homes of Cottrell Village include 3 dwellings, 2 of which were built in the 1850s and are up for sale for $270,000. From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
IBJ Media, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indiana Economic Development Corporation invite you to Engage Central Indiana, presented by CareSource, Indiana University, and Old National Bank. You won't want to miss our fireside chat with Governor Holcomb and the Michael A. Carroll Award presentation to Mitch Daniels. Plus, we'll dive into the important issues shaping the region's economy. It's December 6th at the JW Marriott in downtown Indy. RSVP at ibj.com/engage.
Officials in St. Joseph County have begun auctioning off the contents of Portage Manor, a former county-run home for those with mental illness or disabilities. They call it a first step in repurposing the facility, one of the state's last county-run homes, which they chose to close over the summer, saying operational costs were too high and state funding too low to continue supporting it. St. Joseph County Commissioner Derek Dieter.
There's all kinds of different emotions of why did you close it? Well, one, when I walked in here, this isn't a place for people to be. Number 2, we were losing about $1.5 million. The county should not be in the business of mental health. We don't do it very well, and we shouldn't be competing with businesses in the private sector. That's why I think there's only 2 or 3 in the whole state left.
Local real estate company Kaser Auction Service will manage the process, and Dieter says he hopes the money raised through the hundreds of items to be sold can be put toward investments on the Portage Manor property. Rusty Carr is stepping down from his role as director of the Indianapolis Department of Metropolitan Development next month to join the Parks Alliance of Indianapolis. Carr will succeed interim CEO Greg Fennick, who has held the post since the departure of previous CEO Lori Hazlitt in June 2022. Carr's final day with the city will be December 29th, and he will begin at the Parks Alliance on January 2nd. The not-for-profit Parks Alliance is part of the Central Indiana Community Foundation and oversees philanthropic efforts for the improvements to facilities in the Indianapolis Department of Parks and Recreation System. Construction on the South Shoreline's Double Track project in northwest Indiana is almost 95% complete. Lakeshore Public Media's Michael Gallenberger reports.
Northern Indiana Commuter Transportation District President Mike Nolan says the section between Michigan City and Dune Park has been open for about a month. The remaining part between Dune Park and Gary is nearly done.
The station is nearly finished in Miller. The high-level platform at Ogden Dunes is up and putting the finishing touches on it. Double Track is just about in everywhere we need to put it in.
Meanwhile, the Westlake Corridor branch from Hammond to Dyer is about 55% complete. Nolan told the NICD board Monday that the project cleared a major hurdle at the end of October. NICD had to coordinate with CSX, NIPSCO, the town of Munster, and others to move an existing railroad signal, power lines, and a sewer main to make way for a Westlake overpass near 45th Street.
There are a lot of plates spinning around. That's all now out of the way. And so the contractor now has clear sailing to build the project all the way through to the Munster-Dyer border.
Nolan said the next big hurdle is to build an underpass to extend Main Street west to the new station. For Lakeshore News, I'm Michael Gallenberger.
Longtime Indy News anchor Debbie Knox is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports and entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Alex Brown for Inside Indiana Business Radio On Demand.